Yeah.
All right.
Let's do
Hey,
it.
guys, we want to welcome you back to Covenant Podcast. We had taken a long break, and we're starting back with some. And so I picked some people today that are two of my faves, in the whole wide world. Even though they have parents, I've also adopted them as my own. And they have quite a story to tell of God's faithfulness, but it's in the middle of the hardest, probably one of the hardest stories I've ever walked with anybody through in my life. And I'm going to let them tell what parts of the story they want to tell in just a minute. But first thing I want to do is just it's kind of a baseball analogy for Matt. I'm just going to throw you some easy pitches that you can hit. Like how the heck did y'all meet each other? Start with that.
College.
Yeah,
we went to the same college.
Tusculum.
She
University.
saw me across the court.
That's not how that happened.
She saw you and
Couldn't
she chased you
resist.
down.
That's not how that happened. No. We met in college. I won't tell you how.
You can tell us all of it because your story is quite the story.
So we met on Tinder.
So you guys met on Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked her the simple question: pancakes or waffles?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah,
went
really
for pancakes
romantic,
or
huh?
waffles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was real romantic.
Won me over. No, so yeah, we met in college. Then we stayed in Tennessee for like 6 years, and then we found out when we were in Tennessee that we were pregnant with Novi.
Yeah.
And we had talked about staying there, like we were looking at houses and everything.
Oh yeah.
But we have like a little family compound type thing, and
Yeah.
at the time we were broke college students coming from COVID,
Yeah.
and he still had one more semester left, I think.
Yeah.
He still had one semester left of college. I was done, but I was working full time.
Yeah.
And so we just decided to move back, and then we had Novi,
Yeah.
and that was that.
The rest is history.
Then we were here
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
So it's interestingly enough, I knew Matt when he was in high school. He had played baseball at West Lincoln, and but I met him through Legion ball. One of my best friends was his Legion baseball coach, and so I knew him. And I'll never forget when I met you. It was I'd seen you before, but I met you at a wedding. I was doing a wedding.
I think it was Harley and Jordan's.
Yeah, Harley and Jordan's wedding, and y'all walked over it, and always had like. I always liked Matt. I just liked his. He was like one of those guys that played hard, and I like athletic people that are like just play hard. They run through the wall. It don't matter. But figured out pretty quickly that he married quite the competitive girl himself. But anyway, so we kind of vaguely knew each other. Even though I knew Matt better, but I thought Carly was a sweet kid. Didn't know her. They were. At that time, that's when they had Novi, and then Sofie was probably like a little bitty baby then, and which leads us to really the story and the point of the podcast is to tell the part where Sofie comes in, because they had Novi, and Novi undoubtedly is going to be a member of my family one of these days, because my little grandson thinks that she's just.
We have a play date planned for Friday, possibly at your pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Straight up
Just
girlfriend. Like they're like 4 years old, and he's like 5 years old, and he thinks he already planning to marry Novi. So,
But he's doing it right. He's got a few little side girls apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I told
We'll
him
have
he
to
needed
straighten
meet
him
with
out,
you
you
before
know.
he did anything.
Yeah.
So a couple years after Novi, they had another little sweet girl, Miss Sofie, and this is the hard part of the story. I don't even really know how to tell them. I really should let them tell it, but I'll remember from my perspective that Matt's they weren't going to our church at this time, but his sister was.
Yeah.
And she called me, and it was on July 4th a couple of years ago, and she said, I need you to come to our house right now. There's been an awful, terrible, tragic accident, and Sofie's in heaven. That's how she said it. And I went, oh, my God. And I remember, it took me like probably about 2 minutes to get to my car because I
Probably.
was coming. And I was living like in Denver, and they live like way West Lincoln, like 182.
Yeah.
And that kind of began our journey as I don't know how close me and Matt consider ourselves before this. And Carly and I were basically acquaintances, but at that moment, that marked a day where everything transitioned. And so I don't really know how much of that day's story. I mean, there's some things I'll add in probably eventually, but I don't know how much of that day's story we want to share, because ultimately what our goal is before we get through with this video is Carly has gotten such a passion for grieving moms, and one of the things that she discovered pretty early on when she was and she's still smack in the middle of grief, obviously, but one of the early things that we learned early on is that there's just not a whole lot of people to go talk to that's been through what you guys have been through, and so
not many resources.
right. And so we're gonna create one through her and Matt, and let God do what He's gonna do to use this trauma, this tragedy, and turn it into something that glorifies Himself. He has in a million ways already, anyway. But so I don't know. I'm gonna leave that up to y'all how much you want to tell about that particular day, and because I really want to. Because I think it's your story and nobody's to tell.
Right.
You know, so.
Well, okay. So
Yeah, I'm throwing it to you right now.
Okay.
She's the
So
talker.
I really, I mean, it really doesn't matter
Yeah.
what happened. Like, that day is so. He remembers everything. I kind of don't really remember everything. I mean, just from
Yeah.
people telling me, I
Yeah.
really blocked it out.
Yeah.
I think that's God doing what
Yeah.
He's doing. But I do know that day when Sofie passed, and I just, there's something in your heart. You can't explain it, but you just know.
Yeah.
Like, you just know, like,
Yeah.
she's gone. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I don't really remember much. And, it sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
Yeah, I
That was
remember you
a
saying that.
bad day. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bad, chaotic, confusing day.
It's supposed to be like a family vacation fun
Yes.
weekend away, and it turns into the most traumatic day of your life, of your whole world. And that's it. That's that part of the story in a
Yeah.
nutshell. The beauty of it is, and even though it's almost, there's this Bible verse that says that God works all things together for good, and when we're in the middle of that day, because I remember details about that particular day like it was yesterday, for me personally. But that Bible verse says God works all things together, and you're sitting there in the middle of that day trying to figure out how in the heck is that going to ever happen, with it. But I remember the very first thing that stands out about that day, because I walked into your house, because they'd come back from the space where this tragedy happened, and they were back at their house, and I walked in, and there's people just standing all around the whole house, and I walked in, I hugged Matt first, I remember that, and then Carly was sitting in a chair kind of over in the corner, and I walked over to hug her, and I remember her first response to me was, whatever you do is don't, make sure Matt's okay, make sure Matt doesn't think. And they weren't married at the time. That's part of y'all's story. They weren't married at the time.
We were engaged, but we weren't
Right.
married yet.
But her to me, your desire to protect him, and his first thing to me was, obviously, I don't understand any of this, but make sure Carly's okay. It's like y'all's attention turned immediately to each other, and I've watched trauma happen in people's lives. People's been married
In a
50,
situation
20
like
years.
that, it's very easy to put blame on one another.
Yeah.
And I'll say that day, I remember everything vividly. It was the longest and shortest day of my life, all at the same time, and it's like you said, it was supposed to be one of those things where it was supposed to be the start of a tradition. You know, I grew up going to Steel Creek, went there all the time, loved that place. You know, you go out on your own, go fishing, and kind of disappear away from your family for a little bit, ride around on your bike or scooter, and try to meet some women. You know, you know. But
This time, Carly.
no, not this time. When
I
was younger.
I know.
And then and in the fashion that it happened, immediately, obviously, I put all blame and guilt on myself. Just the way the situation was, it to an extent was, you know, my responsibility. And to this day, I still have terrible dreams about it. Yeah. And it's not just about Sofie either. I have those dreams about Novella.
Yeah.
And I wake up in the middle of the night and don't tell nobody, but I go check on her. You know, kiss her and tell her that I love her.
Who needs a tissue now?
We're gonna need a tissue.
Yeah, and you know, and I tell her while she's asleep right there that I love her, because that dream that I had just had you know, took the life out of me again. Yeah. So that day was very long and very short, and you know, leaning on one another was the only thing that got us through it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he said he talks about that, putting the blame on himself, and you know, I've grew up going to church, I've always believed in God. I heard somebody in this church say they got scared baptized. I did that when I was like 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, you know, I grew up going, but you know, you don't. They tell you not to wait until something bad happens to have an interaction with God. Yeah.
Right.
But that day, I've never in my life had. I've always put it like this: God had me in a chokehold, in a straight up chokehold, and said, "It's
Come
not
here."
his fault."
Yeah.
Because I immediately when I saw her, and I was like, I immediately wanted to blame Matt, but God was like, "It's not his fault. Yeah. You can't blame him. Like, it is not."
And there
his
was
fault.
a split second where, in the heat of the moment, obviously we did blame one another. You know,
It did not last long.
Quick.
It did not last long.
It lasted all of 15 seconds.
If that.
I do, you know, obviously remember her saying, you know, I asked you to watch the kids, and you know, and I was, you know, 100%. I mean, I was definitely paying attention to them.
Yeah. All of us, you know, I've had 3 children, you know, that you guys are good friends with now.
Yeah.
But
and there was a lot of people there that we all knew anyway.
right. I mean,
so.
but 18-month-old kids can be blink your eyes and they're over there.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere. Anyway, that's the point of that story, and that's kind of all we're going to go into. Just so you know that what was meant to be a beginning of a tradition, what was meant to be one of the funnest days of your life, turns into the most traumatic day of your life. But bouncing from that, I've watched people who've been married for 20 years lose a child and turn on each other, and it implodes their relationship. And exactly my point is that exactly the opposite happened with these 2 people. I watched them fall in love in a new kind of way after this, and I know because. True story. I was like a permanent fixture at your house for weeks.
You were.
I just
You
basically,
were,
I went to their house so much I didn't even knock. I just like walk in and get me something to drink.
But you know, you don't understand how much that, even though we might not have said a word, your presence was needed.
Yeah.
Even just your presence. So we tell you all the time, we really thank you for that, because we didn't know where to look, what to do. I mean, did we blame God? Yeah. But at the end of, it's almost like at the beginning of the day, you blamed him. Mm-hmm. You're like, why would you take her?
Yeah.
Like, why would you take her and heal all these other kids, but take her?
Right. Yeah, there's some real to that though.
And then, but it's like at the end of the day, he's like, you get it together. Like, it's not my fault. You know, it's like a real conversation that I have with God. And then I also struggle with wondering, am I talking to myself? Like, you know, you never know if he's actually answering you or if you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, constantly throughout, it's almost been 2 years.
Yeah.
July will be 2 years. Yeah. So
it's still fresh.
It's still fresh
in a lot of ways. But I also watched you too. Speaking of Novi, at the time, Novi at that time she's 3. What?
She was
3.5.
3
getting ready to be 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not only did they lose their precious child, but Novi lost her best friend. I mean, this kid that she's with every single day.
They were 22 months apart,
and she still struggles with it every single day.
Every day.
I mean,
and Novi, by the way, is a beautiful soul. I mean, she's got joy. She's a fireball.
She's fire for
She's
sure.
like her mama, but
Yeah.
she's a fireball. But she's very articulate. I mean, like she's very smart. And she understands heaven. She understands where Sofie is. They got a little guy that was born this year, Brody. She understands him too. I mean, she's little mama for him already.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff is big and huge. But immediately, I know you're talking about blaming God, but immediately I watched y'all begin to give God glory too, in the middle of your hurt, and I watched you fall in His arms instead of falling out of His arms. I say that all the time when people go through traumas. They run one of two directions. They either run to God like crazy, or they run from Him. And the most impressive thing on my heart is that y'all ran to Him.
Right. Yeah, because in a moment like that, it's very easy to run away.
Well, I could see why
a lot of
parents
people do.
and people struggle with that.
Yeah.
I could see why people turn to drugs and alcohol and anything to numb that.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is no numbing.
Yeah.
You just have to feel it.
Yeah.
You told me though.
Yeah.
We've had many conversations.
Yeah, we met every Wednesday for
a long time.
Months and months and months.
Yeah. But you told me, He wouldn't have gave us those emotions if He didn't want us to feel them.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have gave us.
They're a gift in a weird way.
Yeah, they are. Because, I mean, what an honor it is to grieve someone that we love so much. If we didn't love her so much, we wouldn't have to grieve her like this. We would be happy all the time. And, we look happy.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, we do.
Yeah.
Because we are.
Yeah.
But, we
it's
do
still
hold.
always there.
It's always like right next to you, like a parrot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it is. It is.
Like in your ear.
That's true. And I've the privilege, because one of the things that we talk about together when we talk is something, because other people don't know how to handle being around you now either, because they're like, should we ever, whatever you do, let's if we see Matt Carly, don't mention Sofie. And that's the opposite of the truth. We talk about her like every
all the time
we're together. When I describe them, I don't describe them as being a couple that has 2 kids. They have 3. One's just relocated to heaven. Made heaven start making a lot. Heaven started mattering a whole lot more. That's what I noticed immediately with y'all. And then the testimony of how many people we know personally that, in the middle of the hurt and pain of all this, ran to Jesus as well, has been pretty amazing.
Right.
She's
watch.
Changed a lot of lives.
She has, and even more so, I thought she changed a couple more like last weekend with the scholarship. Tell them about that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, we now do. We have a Sofie Gray Memorial Scholarship. That we use the month. So we also have a Sofie Gray annual golf tournament.
Yeah, swinging for Sofie.
So
And
come play in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play.
Sign up.
Sign
There's
up.
still some spots left.
Yeah. That and we do business like sponsors. That's how we get the money. So the sponsors from the tournament, we put it in a fund where we're able to bless 2 students, a female and a male, who have the qualities of the person that we think Sofie would have been.
Right.
who she was.
Yeah.
Because even though she was only 18 months old, I mean, she was kind.
She already had a personality.
She was.
Oh, yeah.
She was.
She was a ball of fire, too.
She was something.
Well, she
Yeah.
didn't have
She
much
was-
option with you two being her parents.
No. But, you know, we were able to bless 2 students with $1,500 apiece.
Yeah.
For college.
I love it. I love it.
And you know, and these kids both, you know, wrote us personal letters saying that they want to, they hope that they can be like Sofie.
Yeah.
Right.
And that.
And then there were a lot of people that applied, but you know, obviously the ones that write those handwritten letters and mention her name and know what they're
Here's your
applying
hint for next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we don't just necessarily pick them just because of that, but it just shows us that they're implementing, like, they want that, like, you know, they might need that. Not that they're just applying for everything that they can, which some people have to, right? But it's just a little bit more touch and meaningful, you know.
We don't want anybody to forget her.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to ask me about her.
Yeah.
I don't want people to feel like they can't talk to me about her.
Exactly.
But, you know, that's these scholarships, this tournament. We had a end of school bash for Sofie's All-Stars for kids who can't afford to play ball.
Right.
All the money that was raised goes into a fund for kids who can't afford bats or cleats or the commission to be able to play sports.
Yeah.
You know, we want to be able to bless as many people as we can, and without her organizing all of that, it would not be.
Right.
Right, and you know, this is going to be something that's annual. All of these, they're all going to be annual. So this isn't just one of those
There's something
one and
therapeutic
done.
about that,
It
though,
is.
isn't it? Like, where
Giving
you
back.
You get to give somebody.
Give back, yeah.
Well, and part of that was done because when we lost Sofie, this community came together for us.
Yeah.
And that meant, I mean, there was a GoFundMe, you know, that we cut off because people would have kept giving, and that was just too much in itself. Like, you know, we were beyond blessed.
We couldn't even look at it.
We
Like,
couldn't look at it.
I just told my sister after it got to a certain point, I was like, just cut it off. Like, I can't even look at it.
Well, I mean,
You
the
know-
beauty of that is, and we won't go into a whole lot of details, but I know this because I was there a lot, you know. I know you guys helped some other families that were
Right, we
going
did.
through hard places.
That
Because you didn't
same
want any of that
day.
money for yourself. Every bit of that money that came in for Sofie for that GoFundMe, y'all, what you didn't, you know, what you didn't need, you gave it away.
Because it blew up.
It did.
Sofie blew up.
It did.
Sofie was, I mean, I opened Facebook and every time, there. I mean,
Yeah.
I had probably 100 messages.
Yeah, more like 500.
It was a
Yeah,
lot.
it was a lot.
It was a lot. And it took me a while to respond.
Yeah.
I was very grateful, but it took me a long time to respond to some people because people go through, and the reason why I want to start something for grieving moms is you don't realize how many moms, how many people are going through things silently, like whether that be
It doesn't even
moms.
have to be death. Either.
no,
It could be just-
no, just it's hard having children. It's hard, you know, not only losing children, but you know, women go through silent miscarriages a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, those are very silent. Those people don't know about those. People don't know about infertility. People go through those things silently.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason why I want to start something for grieving moms is because I didn't realize until after Sofie passed how many women there are. Men too. But how many women specifically, because we carry the children, how like silent it is and how you really need a community and how many people suffer in silence.
Yeah. Which you said men too, which I appreciate Matt coming today because while Carly and I have met a bunch, and Matt and I talk all the time, but Carly and I literally have probably spent 100 hours literally just, I wouldn't call it counseling as much as it is.
It's just in a room.
It's just, we're in a room talking and just talking about Sofie and Matt and life and Jesus a lot. But Matt, I appreciate you coming today because
He didn't want to.
No, I'm sure he didn't. But a lot of times men will just
Sometimes I
compartmentalize it.
say things out of the box, you know?
Yeah.
Not very, I don't usually sit in front of cameras and talk. So
Yeah, he works.
you know, there's certain things that I might say that might need to be cut out. Okay. So
They definitely do.
Do your editing, brother.
But to get from, and this is a big deal for me, but to get to the part from that day to almost 2 years later, where now you maybe can give back and
Right.
give other people some advice. Obviously, I didn't know how to advise you much.
I know. I was like, give me answers. I need answers. And you're like, I don't know. I'm like,
I don't have
dang
any.
it, I don't know
I don't really have
either.
any. I know this. I love you and Matt. I love Novi. Now I love Brody. Y'all are like my family. I will love you forever. But I don't know how to help you through this because only Jesus can.
Right.
And this is the part that blew my mind in a beautiful way. Is that I told you they protect each other that first day, but the way they ran first to the Father and then ran to each other in a new way became like a testimony in and of itself to me. Because like last year we got married.
Yeah.
And so why'd y'all get married after you? I mean, you already. Not, and that wasn't me making them either, by the way.
No.
But that's part of their testimony. Like, anyway, if I just said, why'd y'all get married? How would you answer that?
So for me,
Yeah.
When we lost Sofie, we do love each other.
Yeah.
It was
But
kind of already planned before.
It was kind of it was like
Sophie.
Y'all wasn't in
No.
any hurry. Let's put that way.
No,
Right.
we were not in a hurry because it's expensive.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
expensive. So we were just like, just waiting and waiting. And then Sofie passed, and I was like, I've got to have her last name. Like, if something happens to me,
Yeah.
I want her last name on my headstone.
Yeah.
Not, I want to have her last name.
Yeah.
And we've learned
Yeah.
things can happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Right.
no idea
Yeah.
when our last day is.
Yeah.
And I did not want to wait any longer.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Megan, I need you to plan this wedding in 3 months. Thank
And
you.
she did.
And she did.
Yeah, she did.
She was like, yeah, you're right. I think you should get married like in 3 months. I said, okay,
Yeah.
well, you plan that. Let me know when to be there.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's
and
what,
she did,
that's
and we
actually
were.
what happened.
Yeah.
We just met and did it. Right. No, I was kidding, but
Matt was like, I guess I didn't have any say. I was like, nope, you need to be here on this day. He's like, all right.
the spiritual side of that, without me trying to speak for him, I also noticed there became this totally different focus of your life. Like y'all started living your life differently, and this was the spiritual side of them getting married. There was a real side to, we are going to be a family. We are going to have the same last name. But there was a spiritual side to it that you guys began to communicate to me, like, we've shifted from that day. Sophie's impacted a bunch of people. I'm talking about in the thousands by now, but she impacted these two people more than anybody on the earth because
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
y'all's whole pursuit became the Lord.
Oh, that's all it is now.
Yeah.
That's all it is now.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
come here on Sundays, I mean, we don't go up in the front for people to say, oh,
Those poor people.
those poor people,
Yeah.
they're up there. So everybody's, it has
No, definitely
nothing
not.
to do
That's
for
my.
that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy listening to you talk, but that's my favorite part. And I'm usually one of the first ones up
Oh, yeah,
there,
you are.
as if I can get through the crowd in time. But yeah, straight to you, hug, tell you I love you, and then worship.
Yeah.
It's
That
my
matters.
favorite time of church.
I appreciate that, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know you look forward to
No,
it.
I really do.
It's like the best. We have the best
Yeah.
worship team too.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
they have a way of pulling you in to make you feel close. Like when we're up there, we feel so close.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
for me, I know him because he's told me.
Yeah.
But we feel so close to Sofie.
Yes.
Like I don't know how to explain it, but
Well,
there's a
It's
reason.
almost like you're in a bubble.
There's a reason why I stand exactly where I do behind you every single time, every single Sunday.
Yeah.
That's exactly where she was
Yeah.
the day of the funeral.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
stand right there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know that y'all, we've had a plethora of emotions at that altar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are weeks that we worship Him with our hands raised high, and there are weeks that we lay on that altar and cry together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I watched that for y'all with each
Yeah.
other.
It's been a while since I've been to that altar, but there's a lot of talking myself out of it. I mean, I know it's not a bad or good thing regardless, but I could just simply, just to not draw so much attention to myself, close my eyes and have a moment to myself while I'm standing there. I can do the same thing standing. But
I think our people understand that about y'all, though. Like, I think they give y'all space to grieve, without everybody feeling like they got to come over and tell you, I feel better, you're going to be okay, because some days, quite frankly, you're not sure you are going to be okay.
Yeah.
Well, then there is some Sundays where I'm like, man, it's a lot today.
Right.
Like, some Sundays I wake up and I'm like, man, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's really heavy today. And then I get here and it's like,
God lifts you.
And a lot
you
of
walk in the door and it's like, okay, I needed to come here today, obviously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've done pretty good because you don't miss.
We don't miss very often.
No, we don't miss very often. But a lot of my grief doesn't happen here. It happens at home. I've built a whole entire area for her.
Yeah.
Her headstone's on our property. I have 200
Beautiful,
linear foot
beautiful.
of rectangular fence around her that I'm going to finish landscaping this year, I promise.
He's a landscaper by trade, and the space that he's built for Sofie's garden is literally something you see a picture of in a magazine.
Yeah, and it's I can't wait to get everything finalized. And obviously we didn't build that just for ourselves. It's for our family, our friends. If they want to come over, if their kids want to come over, we have a memorial box, and it's one of those boxes where you can't open it.
Yeah,
it's built how it's built with a slot. You can't open it. So if your kids or you ever want to write her a note, draw her a picture, all you have to do is bring it over there, drop it in there, and that box will never be opened.
Yeah.
That is between you and her.
Yeah.
And
God
it's
will read it to her. She couldn't
it's
read.
little things like that,
Although
that
she can probably read now.
Yeah, she might.
yeah. That's those things are it gives me a sense of peace,
And you got to
So.
do that. I mean, I think you have to find your own way, because that's the other thing. Nobody can write a book for. Here's how you live the rest of your days when you lose your 18-month-old.
Yeah.
There's no book.
No, that's full.
There's no
except the Bible.
except for the Bible.
Yeah.
There's no handbook saying
This is how it's
how to
do it.
grieve
So
for
I think-
dummies.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
And I think you have to do it, And while Matt spends his time grieving by working, you're more willing to talk. Like we've hashed out some like whoa, that's deep stuff.
Yeah, I've got to the point where I don't even ask what y'all talk about, because she will literally go on the whole entire through the whole spiel. I mean, you
So you
spent
don't-
45 minutes together. She'll tell me the whole 45 minutes
Oh,
if I
yeah,
ask.
she will.
So
I like to talk.
Yeah.
yeah, so
One of
Can't
y'all
tell.
has got to. and,
Somebody's got to. Well, and it's really hard just because you want to know when someone you love dies, you want to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to know what it's like.
Yeah.
And
you
the
want to
only
know
way
if she's growing. Is she getting
yeah.
older up there
Right.
as well? Is she going to be the same
Yeah.
when
That's
we
a lot of
get
stuff.
there as when she left?
Yeah.
It's things like
there's
that.
only one way to know.
Yeah.
Like there's only one way to know, and that's to
Get there.
get
To get
there.
there,
And
yeah. there's
there's only one way to do that, and it's
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I just always question like a bunch of different things when it comes to God. Like
Yeah.
like I always ask him questions,
Yeah.
but he always has the same answer.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
He likes you asking
he
questions.
always. I'm like I ask him daily. Like
I ask him questions too, and then he gives me anxiety, and I start feeling like I'm going to have a heart
That's not him
attack.
giving you anxiety. Okay? Now, that's
Yeah,
the
it's
way
like,
they
okay,
count.
quit asking
this
questions.
is canceling
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
This is counseling now.
yeah.
But he loved her first. He loved all of us first.
Yeah.
Right.
Without him, we wouldn't have her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He gave us to her for the amount of time that he did for a reason.
Yeah.
She impacted so many people in her 18 months.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, to impact, the day of her funeral, it was live streamed.
Yeah.
over 40,000 people saw that live stream.
That's great.
Yeah.
In 15 different states.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And all of it was pointing
for an
to Jesus,
18-month-old.
Jesus.
That and
And-
you know, in the end of her funeral, we spent that worshiping him. Like,
Yeah. And that it didn't stop there. I mean,
no, after
she
that,
made a simple video on TikTok. It got like 3 million views.
Wow.
You know, I mean,
I cut that
a
off.
lot
It was
of-
too much for me.
yeah, it was way too
I
much
don't like,
for
I don't
both
like
of us.
that. That was a lot.
But yeah, I mean, she worldwide. You know?
I mean, people. Well, I want to change people's lives.
Yeah.
I want people to know that just because we lost a child, like, God is still good.
Yeah.
He is still good even in our
Yeah.
hurt, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah, I know it is.
to say that sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, he's still good.
Yeah.
He has blessed us in so many ways
Mm-hmm.
after she died. Like, that year was a hard year.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Sofie. I lost my best friend a month later.
Yeah.
My best friend of over 25 years.
Yeah.
And 2 months to the day later, Sofie and Novi's pony got out of our field, and one of Mom's horses, they got hit by a truck and passed.
I
and,
remember those.
you know,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it was
2
like it
months.
was-
Back to back.
2 months to the day,
Yeah.
you know, and it's you know, I'd looked at my mom, and you know, obviously we were both extremely upset, but I told Mom, I was like, well, Sofie wanted a horse, you know. I mean,
got her horse.
She
she got her
up
horse
there.
back now, you know.
You know, and then like 9 months before Sofie passed, Matt's cousin passed away. Like, it was like, when is it gonna stop?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But you know, we still just.
But even with all that, you
just-
said it. God is good.
He's
I mean,
still
Yeah.
good. I mean, you know, it just makes me want to be there even more.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
not anytime soon. But
All right,
don't
well,
obviously me.
My dad was like
But-
sick. He used to say, "I want to go to heaven. I just want to go. Don't know if I want to go today, but I want to go." Yeah.
yeah.
like there's.
Well, I think about that all the time.
I
Yeah.
don't know when we're at one, but
But yeah.
but the
it's-
point is with this too, you know, is that it sometimes your story and you helping people is not. It's what you guys have both admitted today. It's not about having all the answers. Sometimes it's about having somebody to walk through the questions with, you know, and you know, and I've tried desperately to just with both of you know, like because I don't know it. I don't have a clue, man, how to even approach that kind of grief. You know, we're not built for losing children. We're just not. I mean, and I've done 200 funerals in my life, and the hardest ones by far are the ones where parents are burying their children. And but I will say this, comparatively speaking, y'all have been utterly amazing to me, and I think people. I think the people that are going to watch this and the people that maybe will reach back to you, and we'll get Ryan to put some information out there. Number one, we're going to put a picture of Sofie on here, but and the whole family. We got some good pictures of your whole family, but also maybe some way to reach out to you, you know, and
Yeah.
and to if you want to start like a group or whatever you're going to do, you know, I think it's not about if a preacher would walk up to you and say, well, I know I got answers for this. Just listen to me. Just stay away from them.
Yeah,
Right.
they're lying because I
Yeah.
know they're
They're
lying.
lying, right?
Yeah.
I think some of the strength of not knowing is to be all right not knowing,
Yeah.
but to walk through the questions together instead of thinking there's going to be answers for everything.
Right.
And
And there is answers in the Bible.
yeah,
I mean, there's answers,
yeah,
but you know,
it's day to day.
it is a day to day,
Yeah.
especially with a 5-year-old who
Yeah.
has a lot of questions.
Yeah, she does.
And you know, that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
She is her grief looks so much different than ours because she grieves so purely.
Yeah,
Like, she immediately is like, everything outside,
yeah,
the stars, the clouds, the
Rainbows.
rainbows, everything
The
is
way the
just-
sun sets.
Yeah.
And lights
and
up
she'll
the
be
sky.
like, I
It's
can't wait to go to heaven.
yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I can't. Yes, but
Yes.
whoa.
Well,
Easy.
yeah,
Pump the brakes on that. Not anytime soon, sister.
yeah,
But you know, also with Brody,
yeah,
he looks just like her.
Yeah.
He looks just like Sofie did when she was born.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they were born at the exact same time.
Yeah, literal exact same time.
Yeah.
Godwing,
Yeah.
crazy Godwing.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of those.
Yeah.
And we say all that to say that, I say,
Yeah.
I really want to have something for moms who are grieving the loss of a child, the loss of wanting a child. The ones who do it silently, I think there's a lot in this area that a lot of people don't know about. And I would love to start a group if people are interested, and then eventually have it to where it's moms and dads, because I do think that men also grieve silently, and there's no resources for men.
Sure. Yeah.
There's more for women, but I need to start small first before I expand to something like that. And I'm hoping that, because you guys have said we can do it here, and we have plenty of space.
And we're not doing this because we have the answers. It's just so
I think it's good
they
to
can
talk.
talk just
It's really
like
good
we
to
are
talk.
now.
That's what helped us. I mean, not that.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing my grief to yours because I went in deep with y'all in grief because, and I had seen Sofie, but with walking through them on this, it felt like she was my grandchild. I mean, I just began to feel that, but I'm not comparing my grief to yours, but a lot of days it was just us just talking about.
And people don't think. People don't think that helps. And some people, that also is everybody grieves differently.
That's right.
Everybody grieves differently. Nobody grieves the same.
Exactly.
I grieve differently from Matt.
Yeah.
And I think that at least being in a space where you don't feel alone, people feel alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though we're in the same room,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, man, like, he has no idea. But then at the same time, I have no idea. I don't know how he feels. So being in a room full of people who all kind of are experiencing the same thing, I think is something that's going to be powerful, therapeutic, healing. Yeah,
that's right. Well, I appreciate y'all, coming to tell your story. I know it's not easy, and it was a long time coming for me to ask you to do it because before we went on camera today, I told him, I said, what I refuse to do is have this be like one of those moments where you try to suck in people through emotion because, my God, it breaks everybody's heart when you hear about a story like this. But Sofie matters too much just to have her be a crutch for some people to be emotionally drawn into something, because that's not what this is about. What it's about is the people that's going to watch it that are walking through something silently. That now can know that there's some people over here on this side that are willing to walk with them. And sometimes walking silent is all right, but sometimes you just need to talk, And so thank y'all, so much.
I hope that people look at us and see Jesus through us.
Yeah.
I hope that and I said that on Mother's Day. I hope people see light in me.
Yeah.
And I hope people know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Because they're not.
So
You're not.
Thank y'all for loving each other like you do. Thank y'all for loving Jesus like you do. Thank you for loving my other grandbabies like you do. And thank you for loving Sofie like you do. And I appreciate you putting yourself out there because there's a lot of people out there that needed it. I promise. Whether we know it or not. You'll find out soon enough.
We will.
Anyway. But again, man, thank y'all for joining in with us. I know this was a raw moment and it's their moment. And I just appreciate you. You're honoring Sofie and you're honoring them by joining them. But thank you. We appreciate it very, very much. And we will see you next time. Thank you.